Well, Eakraj, thank you for making the time to be here today. It's truly a pleasure. Could you just tell us a bit about yourself, introduce yourself, and explain to us the qualities that you possess that you believe will make you an effective councillor for the next 4 years?
Yeah, so I'm father, that's the main thing. Yeah, we have 2 beautiful daughters and my wife. We've been living here for the last 16 years. My background is community, mainly community social work sort of thing. I've been advocate, working as advocate, and also social worker, welfare officer for many governmental, non-governmental organizations. And I've been really active in the community. I was the president of Nepalese Association and now president of Everest Cricket Club, and also a member, executive member of Toowoomba International Multicultural Society. And I'm connected with many other organizations as well, like community police partnership sort of community. We have meetings every month, and also I'm the multicultural advisor for Toowoomba Regional Council. So yeah, I think quality wise, how I am passionate about community connections, and I love our region and I want to contribute more to the region.
No, appreciate that, thank you. We just wanted to circle back to 2020 and also your recent run during the vacancy that was opened up in September due to Jeff McDonald stepping up into the mayoral position. Yeah. So you've attempted twice now to be a councillor, and in 2020 you finished second last on the ballot. Why do you think that was the case back in 2020? And what are you doing differently this year to get a better result and to get that 31,000 votes necessary to get in across the line?
Yeah, that's a good question actually. 2020, as you know, like we were together, and you know the campaign was really good. You know, like we were there, we tried everything. The missing point there was, I think, I was a community leader then. I come from one community background. So I have done a lot in the community. I mean, like we've been working in the community for a long time, but coming out from the community was biggest challenge, I think. And that's where I've been working on last 4 years. So it's not just one community we're fighting for, we're working on, it's broader communities or Toowoomba region. So that's where I think the main thing was. And the other thing, you know, like, you know, there were so many other barriers. Of course, my name was too difficult to remember, or, you know, I was maybe placed right on the ballot paper or something like that. But there was work to be done, obviously. And since then, I think I had many opportunities to improve myself, to involve more, to engage more with the community, to learn more about the region and everything. Yeah, and also people, hopefully the voters will get used to with different names now.
That's a great response. I wanted to ask about your campaign slogan, which you have on your Facebook page and on your call flutes, which is saying that you are fully committed to our region's future. In concrete terms, what does that version of the future look like to you, and why are you committed to it?
So my campaign, as you know from last time as well, it's committed to future. That means I am a father. I'm working on being a good father myself, improving myself. Plus whatever we need to improve in this society, what we can change, what we can do differently. It's not like I'm here to change the world or change the region. It's not like that. It's something I can share from my lived experience, what we can do better, what we can do differently. So our future generation, like my daughters and your kids, everyone, especially the second generations, who are born to the parents who were not born here. These people, like these kids, they're growing up now because we are pretty new with the migrants and refugees and all these things. So we will have these second generations coming. Are we ready for the challenges? Because they're not exactly same as the first generations. So that's where the dilemma is, and that's where we need to work on more, and that's where we want to focus as well.
Okay, yeah, that's a great response. That does lead into one of my next questions actually quite nicely, which is the idea that you assert in your campaign materials, especially in one of the flyers that you've put on your Facebook page, that diversity and inclusivity is necessary to build a strong community. You identified that there's that second generation of migrants and refugees that are coming up here in Toowoomba that are going to have unique challenges in terms of integrating, fitting in, understanding their part in the region. It does raise the question about how people groups that disagree fundamentally on issues of religion, morality, language, and politics, how do they get along? How do you create, and if you're elected as a councillor, how will you make sure that people from all these different backgrounds actually become a strong community? Because it almost seems like if you have more division amongst those things, it's not as strong of a community.
It's a really fine line, team, because you're second generation, I'm first generation. What we go through sometimes are different, but your experience is different because you had home, you had job, or you had your parents or their relatives and their parents. You had kind of trail of history here, whereas I didn't have that one. So my kids will have similar experience what I have now, but then they will have exactly same right and same sort of situation, environment there what you had. It's really complicated. We don't look at this very seriously, but then when it happens like how it is going in the streets of Europe and America. We will be there in 20 years' time because especially Toowoomba, we are pretty new with these things, with the migrant issues. And how we connect this, how we make these things better is someone has to walk the walk, someone has to take this path now, so the second generation will have a little bit more fertile land, fertile environment. So it's kind of like, I compare this all the time with the glass ceiling. Someone is trying to go up there to open the sky. But people here already happy, like they're happy here and they're telling you, don't go, the glass will break and we will get hurt. But that's not the case. We need to open that one and we need to show our future generation there is open sky, which is equal for everyone, which is welcoming for everyone, and which is exactly, like you have same opportunities, same sort of situation there for everyone. So yeah, that's where we need to work on. Yeah, it goes a little bit. Yeah.
No, I understand. So you're saying that a way to increase inclusivity is to give more opportunities to people of migrant or refugee backgrounds.
So, yeah, inclusivity also it's some form of opportunity for exposure. So somebody wanting to do something new, something different, to be a part of, every sectors or every aspect of the environment or the society.
Sure.
We have to empower that voice. We have to support that voice, and that's where we're working on. Like somebody says you can be doctor, you can be taxi driver, you can be a businessman, anything, but don't get into politics. You will get in trouble. If somebody is saying that, that's where we need to work on.
Sure.
No, we need to get in that one as well. See, the situation there and here, it's like almost same, but also different because that happened. Like their migration started a few years back, few decades back.
Sure.
So back then we had different society. Obviously they had different experience, whereas in Toowoomba, especially in Toowoomba, we're learning not just from there but also from Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, everywhere, and we're new and we got this golden opportunity. So we can learn from their mistake, what they did, and we can learn from what they did right. So we have this.
And what do you think they did right in your opinion?
What we can do right here? Yeah, what we can do right here is to give them exposure as soon as possible, because they won't be able to change their religion. They won't have to change their religion, or they don't have to change their color, or they will have exactly same accent, but they don't need to change anything. It's just as soon as possible, as early as possible, if we give them good education, or if we let them know this is our land as well, make them feel part of this. Otherwise, we will have Nepalese community, small Nepal there, Indian communities in small India or China or wherever. We won't be integrated fully.
No, that's right.
So we have to do things together. We need to make sure we can get anywhere with passion, vision, motivation. We can get anywhere.
Sure.
If we have good.
So you're saying that integration is the key, is
the key.
putting everybody together and doing the
That's
same things together and
Or like whoever's looking for opportunity, we need to encourage that voice. Yeah, that's the main thing, because like somehow like our human society goes like, oh, you're from that background, you're good at that, you keep doing that one, we'll help you there, don't try to come here. Or even from that society, people go like, no, I was supposed to be this, I can't go there because that's not my part, you know.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah.
Okay. No, thank you for that. So I want to switch gears over to housing affordability, which is a major issue that's happening across Australia, but it's especially prevalent here in Toowoomba. As much as this is actually a state and federal issue as well as a local government issue, what's your stance on how to sort of ease the pressure from a council perspective in terms of approving new subdivisions or being open to high density living here in the CBD? What are your thoughts on that?
See, with housing, this was one of my major agenda last time as well, as you know, and this time as well. When I talk about housing, people sometimes say, oh, that's federal, what can you do as a councillor? But then I worked around housing and homelessness for 8 years, more than 8 years, and that's where my experience and my skill and everything is. I saw people being on the street for months or a year. I know there are people still there. But what I can say is, it's not just about federal. If that was just the federal, look at what Best Kitchen is doing, what Tony's Kitchen is doing. One very good example I can give you is, there was a movement, or there was a group of people combined to work closely with council and then churches and everything, called Winter Shelter. I don't know if you know
Yes,
about that.
Winter Shelter, yeah.
They pretty much solved the temporary homelessness for time being. Obviously there are like sustainability and all that sort of issues there. But if group of people can come together and start working on things, they can do it. So they can do in local level as well, and we can do that. But when we talk about, when we're looking into the permanent solution, it's not just about building many houses. It's not going to solve the problem. I can say this from, very clearly, and everyone needs to know that this is not about housing shortage. It's about how we sustain them and how we maintain them, how we look after each other. So we have to go back to the schools, primary schools. We need to start educating people about how we build better homes. We just talk about housing. If somebody is on the street for 2 years, it's not obviously just housing crisis there. There's so many other issues there. We need to work on them, and we need to start working on them from our streets, from our neighborhood, and then these schools and councils. Federal government give us funding, or they can do different things. Obviously we need their support from state and federal, but the issue is here. We need to find the solution from very primary level. Yeah, so I can't say like I will be obviously advocating for high density as well, because there is no point going out there everywhere destroying our system, or like our nature and environment. If we can do things inside here, if we can build more houses, or if we can go higher, or like smaller blocks, or if that is necessary, I think that would be an option that would be sustainable as well. But for housing, homelessness, first we need to be educated. Like I can't see there are families, sometimes 10 families of 10 living happily together. Sometimes we have a couple living in 5-bedroom houses. So there is the link there. We need to find something around there.
Okay.
Yeah, helping each other is the key.
Sure. And so if you're elected, you'll sort of promote that idea of helping each other.
We will definitely need to empower. Like I was in the Black Coffee, how they meet every month. I was there. The work they're doing on the grassroots level, on the ground, like people like Adam and Susie and Nat and Tiff, and then if you go to the Tony's Kitchen, and there is a lady there, I think her name is Lynn. She sits right next to the park, next to the hospital, and providing free tea and coffee to the people, plus advocacy and support, whatever way she can do, and group of people there. Many churches are already doing it. Many good-hearted people, they're opening their doors. So we can do things like that, but that is not permanent solution. That's why we have to get back to the basic. We need to start teaching our kids what is the problem, where is the problem, where they get into wrong track, and then we need to get this organized.
Okay, thank you for that. I want to switch gears now to the idea of sustainability and responsibly managing our environment, because this is top of mind for many Toowoomba region ratepayers. What are your convictions in regards to climate change and whether or not council has a role to play in that?
We all have a role to play. First, we need to understand, like it's not just council. I think it's from the personal level, we all can do a difference, of course. From the local government side, because I don't work for council, and also I say this again, like I'm not environmentalist or expert on that one, but we need to listen to the people first, what they're doing right, promote that one, and if there is something wrong, let's not do that, or let's focus on improving those things there. First and foremost thing I can say is we all need to be sincere and sensible with this issue, because we are how everyone says that, but Barack Obama says it really clearly. We are the last generation who can make some impact, or who can change, or we can stop the earth being destroyed. So we have to be really sincere on that one. And I think destroying natural habitats or destroying our bushlands, all these things, we need to be really, really careful. There are so many things we can't control, of course, but we need to be really careful. And I'm really, I will be 100% behind the experts and then the people, what they say, what we need to do, what is right for their area, their neighborhood. We need to listen to them.
Okay, yeah. So just to follow up from that then, about listening to the experts and what they have to say, if the experts supported banning the use of vehicles, cars, or limiting the amount of travel that a Toowoomba region resident could partake in leaving their suburb, would you implement that? Do you support the idea of travel restrictions on Toowoomba region residents as a means to reduce carbon emissions?
See, banning someone from doing something, obviously, it's not something I would support. Anyone should be free to do things in their right ways or without harming someone else, of course. But that is something decided from the Canberra or Brisbane or something. What we can do here is promote, the environmental awareness. We can also support people who are already doing good, who are already working on that sort of thing. We can obviously get advice, but I think we don't have that much power to ban something or banning vehicles. But what we can work on instead is maybe when we're building wider roads, make wider cycle lanes, or build green areas, promote people or support people to plant more trees. We can always, we witness ourselves, within 5-10 years we can change, something into nice and green area as well. So let's do those things. Or if we haven't already destroyed, or if they still preserve, let's support that as well. Our water resources. Often we start development around a beautiful, source of water. Where there's source of water, we destroy that one, and then we talk about building dams at the same time. So we have to juggle with these things, of course. But obviously,
but you're against the idea of enforcing restrictions on travel or limits on travel.
I don't know, because even when we had COVID, which was like life and death situation, and people still didn't like the restrictions. So banning someone or restricting someone would be, I think that would be a really big thing. And from my level, I don't think I can do anything around that one. But if there is something that we need to do now, and that's going to save us for future, save our future or make our future better, obviously we have to do those things. But we need to consult with the people, we need to consult with the experts and make positive decisions.
Sure,
yeah.
Thank you. Just want to talk about briefly the topic of crime across the Toowoomba region. Now this is again an issue that is a federal, state and local council issue. The the Mayor and the Council has worked closely with the police force in the past to set up surveillance cameras and other safety measures to sort of make the Toowoomba region a bit safer. What, in your stance, how do you make residents feel safer and secure in this region? Because if they're not feeling safe and secure, then we can't have economic prosperity, we can't have more people living here, people won't enjoy living here. So how do you as a councillor see securing the region and making it a safer place?
I think it's similar to how we have housing crisis situation there. As you already said, it's federal and state and then council level. Again, we have to go back to our primary school sort of thing, which is long process. That's where we need to work on more. Obviously, we need police, surveillance, everything, like these things, but these are not, these measures not gonna stop the crime. So that's not permanent solution, that's not long-term solution. We need to find some sort of resolution which again lies in the better education, and also like us as a human being, as a society, helping each other. We're more connected, where we know each other more, and people from what I see nowadays is crime on the street, but that links back to the cultural heritage sometimes. So they are, how we have different communities coming here, but then also within those communities there are so many diversities there. So we need to work on those differences as well. We can't go and fix problem in each household, but we can, as a community, as a society, come together and start working on them together. One very good example I can give you is like there's a, which I'm part of as well, is police and community partnership. They meet every month and then discuss what's happening here in these schools, what's happening on this street, and where we can find where the issue is and where the resolution is. So they're working on that one. Maybe we can do more of those meetings. The other one would be like, again, Adam and Susie, they do through their program Adapt Mentorship, they're mentoring young kids. So maybe we can do that in different communities. We can enable the community leaders and businesses and other organizations, so we can create some sort of environment where young people can come and feel part of it, so they can be utilized in better movements or something to change their life, education or work, sort of thing.
Okay, thank you. So just two last questions for you. This one is, in your view, what are the core pillars of a successful Toowoomba region? So let's say you get elected this year, and in 4 years you have your ability to make a difference, help be a part of a council of other councillors that make some strong decisions. What will those core pillars be that you can look back and say that's a successful Toowoomba region?
Yeah, the main thing we have to look into from now is our water security. That's where Toowoomba can have problem if we don't act now. We need to work on that one now. For that one, all sort of issues, like we already discussed, we need to work on that one. I think that's where we need to focus on right now. The other problem I see many people are struggling is the Toowoomba city not being vibrant. We need to make it more vibrant. We need to get more events here. We need to have a special venue where all communities can come and then celebrate. So there will be more businesses there, it will become more vibrant. And then at the same time, we need to work on the parking. That's during the day. So the events happens after hours, so that we can work around that one. And parking issue is very genuine issue. That's something we need to listen to the businesses, what they have to say and how we can make difference. We really, as a councillor, like if I'm elected, the first priority would be that one. The other thing I can see, team, is when you go to the regional towns, they pretty much don't feel part of Toowoomba. We need to work on that one as soon as possible. If we want to keep Toowoomba region as a Toowoomba region, not just the city, we need to work on that one. How can we connect communities from Pittsworth, Crow's Nest, Milmaran, Araman, Clifton, everywhere? When they come to Toowoomba, they feel at home, and this is their city. as well. That is really, really important. So when we have all these things, and also because like that's my background as well, the communities, as soon as we work, like onto integration process, it's not just like dealing with couple of community leaders and taking selfie with them and then promoting that something. We need to get to the real people there. Some of these people, they're not even connected with their leader. We need to find them and then we need to make them feel at home. And we are already doing so much better with diversity, inclusion, like welcoming refugees, migrants. There's hugely successful migrants here. And Toowoomba is not just how people see from outside. It's conservative, sort of town. It's not like that. It's more vibrant than people in the other part of the world think, and it's more welcoming. We need to glorify that, and my campaign last time was focused on that one. I wanted to make Toowoomba known and then glorify this diversity we celebrate here as much as I can to the outsider, so they can look at us nicely and with their open eyes and think, okay, I can call Toowoomba home. So we can be proud of that. There's few things there, but 4 pillars, I think, that's
I appreciate that. Thank you for that. So if there was just one sentence that you could say, or 2 sentences, however long you need, to say to electors after all this conversation that we've had, to secure their vote for you, what would that be?
Genuine father, community focused, enjoys community. I came here very little money, big dream of creating beautiful life with my wife and with my daughters. They're growing up fast, and also I always worked and I built my life. Now I own my own business. Now I work different places and I own my own business, and I'm enjoying that. I'm trying to help other people create their own dreams. I want to contribute more and in a bigger scale. That's why I'm here. It's truly, passionately, I'm trying to contribute back to the society that gave me this platform to create my dream come true, to make my dream come true. So I want to help other people to achieve their dream. Any background, any religion, any culture, whoever want to make some difference in their life, I'm here to help, and that's what I want to do.
Great. Eakraj Adhikari, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Cheers.